How you guys doing today? All right. I just want to let you guys know we gonna switch it up today because I feel like I need to pour into y'all so y'all could do the things that y'all might want to do on the low, but you don't have the knowledge to. So take it from somebody that has done it. Yet today I'm going to tell you guys how to start a fashion brand. My name is June. You can call me June Speaks, yet that's it. And I've been doing fashion for about I started like in 2017 is when I started making my sketches and doing things, when I started really falling in love with the fashion world. So it was more of, I was a football athlete at that time, a student athlete, running track also. Just doing a lot of things outside of a creative view. And then, some things happened, this, that, and the third, and it came to be about that I started falling in love with the creative side of things. So I always used to go to like Wynwood, and I'm from Fort Lauderdale, so Florida people stand up. So I used to go to all these museums, and I go to these artistic places, and I started seeing more things, and just that those colors started popping for me. Now, if you feel what I'm saying, like this creativity came out of nowhere, unexpected, completely. Yet I felt so attached to it. I felt like it was the right thing to do. So, to those of you that felt exactly how I felt, I'm going to give you the 6 years of knowledge that I've been able to accumulate within my failures and my lesson within the fashion industry. Let's get into it. So the first thing that we have to talk about, because it's really the most important thing. Why? Because without its roots, a tree can't grow. It can't get the nutrients that it needs. You understand? So, to put it in proper terms, what is your desire? So when I ask this, what do you really want from this creation, this baby that you're making? Because this is, in a etherical way, that's just your child in the moment. Let's not go too far. It's your child. So if we take it to a point where we know this is our creation, just what are you desiring from this creation? Because this is something that you're going to put your all into. This is something that you're going to bet yourself on. This is something that's going to be that forefront for future possibilities. You understand? So what is your desire? Me personally, when I started my own fashion brand, the desire that I wanted was to bring a new sense to the entire industry. A more classical, rhythmic, smooth flow. I felt like everything was going too, just too wicked. Sometimes it was just reiteration. I did have a problem with fast fashion. And it was just like, the fashion industry was just so, for a lack of a better word, in a chaotic sense, but not chaotic in a sense of destruction, just more chaotic in the explosion of new creative ideas. And it was like, ooh, I see that there's actually a possibility to bring something new to the table and really like instill legacy out here. Because I'm somebody that enjoys legacy. I think about my future just a tiny bit, just as you should. That's why you on this video, because you are thinking about your future. So look, when you're thinking about your specific desire, it has to basically be in a long-term sense. So when you're thinking about it and when you're trying to, get to that point, you want this thing to be the forefront of all beginnings. You want this creation to speak to the people that had no idea they'd even enjoy some type of creation. Like this fashion, to me personally, it's not just clothes and things of that nature. This is art. in a physical sense, yet it's still the symbols, the creations, the cut. Ooh, how could you not? But number two, that's all y'all had to say for desire. But number two would be, what is your niche? Or specifically for people that find it so difficult to like get an understanding of just what a niche is. What is the thing that you get the most ideas about? Whatever that specific item is, I'm talking about the ones that just pop up out of nowhere and you have to draw it. That is your niche. If it's more bulky clothes, if it's more, slim fit clothes, your niche could be a variety of things. Let's go with the tight fit. You can go with romantic ballet dresses. You can go with other situations. You can go with electrical music festivals. There is a big potential customer base for the people that enjoy tighter clothing. For the people that like bulky clothes or usually looks up for the top wear, sweaters, jackets, hoodies, cardigans, whatever you decide. You would be more on a cold winter, skiing niche. If you want to go, if your family's on a vacation and you will go to Everglades, this is the best clothes that can keep you warm. You might come up with a new creation, a new technology in fashion that's so good at keeping in heat that now you found another niche within your own. Look, the variety and the possibilities is what I'm trying to say are so endless, and it's so long. Anything that you are creating, I guarantee you there are a certain amount of people that are devastatedly interested. Then there'll be another group of people that are just interested because of the people that told them about it. It's a game. It's a game. Yet you have to understand this is your creation. So the forefronts, the things that the work that you put into the roots is what carries on over into the actual creation and the structure of it. That's why this is the most important segment, because without the roots, you won't get your nutrients. Now, once you finally got your desire and you've recognized your niche, what you're actually good at, why can you compete? Why do you believe that you're able to get on the top scales as you dream of? Why do you feel like it's your world now? I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm saying why. And when you come with that reason, and now your structure, now your creation has more life into it. Now it's more of a physical entity and a ethereal entity at that point in time, if that makes sense. We know in this fashion industry, it's a competition. There are fashion brands popping up like crazy in this day and age. There's just more creatives, more people that find that inkling to, fashion, just, dripping in your finest physique, looking good, all things of that nature. And I can't blame it, because I was a part of that traction. Call me a bandwagon, but I'm on it now, and I'm one that's going to step. So when you're trying to understand why can you compete, this is what I want you to focus on. You have to focus on the things that you can do that other people cannot. So that does not mean to go and compare yourself to other people. What I'm telling you to do is to look at the things that these people decide to do and say the things that you would do differently. Once you start noticing the things that you would start doing differently within these big designs that go viral, now you're getting onto something. Now you're really picking up on the point that really makes you different. It's all about personality. I promise you. You just put a little personality in the thing that you're creating, and I promise you, it can't be another one. There can't be. Why? Because there's only one you. now that we continuing on, and now that we got to the understanding that we need our desire, we need to understand why we're able to compete, and we need to focus on our niche and realize it. Not just focus on it, because I'm sure you want to expand, but you want to realize the thing that you're best at. Now, when you're actually all over to the next step, this is the building phase of the actual baby. Now you're getting to the point where you're not focusing on self. Now you have to dig deep within to the creation. First thing that you need to find is a brand name. That is 100% going to differentiate you already from every other business in the world. You have to have something that's appealing, something that's smooth, something that's easy to say. You don't want it too long, but you definitely don't want it too short. In fact, to be honest with you, if it's an anagram, the shorter the better. Yet if you're actually using a quote, whatever you decide, you would want it to be something that's so appealing and easy and it just flows off the tongue so smoothly that they just say it. They love saying it. It just sounds so cool. That's what you want to hit on. Now, when you find that specific word, it doesn't matter if it's a made up word. It doesn't matter if you found this in a dictionary, some deep thought word. Whatever you decide, if you want to change the wording around, play with how it's written, your canvas is entirely yours to paint when you're thinking of a brand name. Don't make it too hard. I promise you. You think of a name, and the best thing about it is, if you follow exactly the process that I'm giving you, you're even able to change your brand name later on. But it'd be between. You'd have to actually come to a point where you do choose a brand name, and you have to start branding it. But that is the first thing that you need to focus on, a brand name. Secondly, now you have to create business structure and a mission statement. So these is the things that most people won't really touch on, because they don't really, they just won't give you everything. I don't know why they won't give you everything, but I'm gonna give you everything. You need to have a mission statement. Why? Because it is imperative that people are able to tell, or that people feel some type of connection to that brand. You're not selling clothes. It is the brand that they are buying into that sells clothes, okay? You gotta start thinking on a wealthy mindset. So the brand is the product. The clothes are simply just assets, gifts, if you would, from the people buying into your company. You want to attract people to the brand name. Why? Because it is better for the brand to sell than a specific item. Longevity. When you're thinking of your mission statement, what you're trying to hit on is basically the things that you want people to understand about your brand and why it's so different, why they have to fall into this, and why they need to fall into this. Make them feel that this is the best option for them. You cannot control everybody's idea or perspective about what they think about your brand, yet you can make it in the best light possible. So, it just flows more naturally, and it's more accustomed to get that sense than the negative one. You understand? So, to continue on, you want that structure. Once you have your mission statement, you want that structure to be built on your basic principles. Within your mission statement, you need principles. Now, this is why I asked you in the first part, what is your desire? See, if you had a correct desire, or if your desire is that strong, now you can use that as your mission statement and make it completely easy. Won't even have to flip-flop, won't have to think outside the box anymore. Your desire would be your mission statement. So now your mission statement, instead of just desiring it, Now you see it as something that you're implementing. So now it comes to fruition, manifest. So look, with the business structure, you want it based on the principles that you have put on. Basically, with your business structure, you want it based on the principles that you have already placed forth in your desires and your mission statement / your mission statement. It's that simple. It's nothing hard. Once you have a business structure, and I mean the pricing that you would think about, and I mean the days that you decide to post, the days that you decide to post videos, it gets real you have to get real detailed if you're really trying to run this like a business and a brand, because your brand is going to be the thing that's outside and how everybody perceives you, and you want people to perceive you in the best way. Why? Because that brings in profit. If people see your page as a negative page, they're gonna click off. They're not gonna be interested in it. So you have to. But do it in your own terms, something that feels naturally, something that doesn't feel forced. Because people can tell when you force something. You decide your pricing, decide the customers that you're actually trying to attract, and decide the potential customers that you're trying to attract. So if you're looking for the age range, you're looking for a type of person, if you're more beachy, more tourism attracted, whatever your ideal is, you would find that age group, you would find the things that they like to do, and then you would simply promote in the spaces that they're usually in. That's it. It's nothing hard. You're gonna have to do some research though. That's what it comes down to. If you do the research, I promise you, you're gonna get to where you need to. 100% every time. After we've done everything from those two things to the groundwork for your baby, now you have to now you have to find a manufacturer. Now I know this is the part where everybody gets confused. They don't know where to find it. They don't whoop. I promise you, a simple search, you would find a manufacturer. Even in your hometown, maybe, because there's not a lot. If you're doing a cut and sew business, then usually you would try to find a textile or a manufacturer, and it'd be a little more tedious to find a manufacturer, but that doesn't mean that you can't. In fact, I'll put one in the description so you guys can actually contact him if you want to start doing things now. He's actually been in the business for longer than me. He's been helping a friend out of mine personally to actually start his business. He's perfect. So you guys check him out on his page. He's actually a really cool person. Vibe real good. And he messed with my boy. He's actually into a lot of things, so you might be able to do more than you came for. Now that the baby is a little more, physically visible, now we have to come to the point where we get to the analytical phase. And this is what pushes a lot of people off, because this is the long work. This is where it gets down and dirty. I'm gonna tell you the truth, because I don't want you to go in there and think having a fashion brand or creating fashion brand, whatever. If you want to do simply graphic design, if you want to do cut and sew, that it's easy. It's easy, yet the work is extremely annoying at a point. I can't lie to you. It is annoying. Yet once you actually get that clothing out, or you finish that piece, or you start seeing those profits fall in, I promise you, that feeling that you get, oh my goodness, it's amazing. You can't even shake it off. It's something that's implanted in your brain. All you do is look for that feeling continuously. So I can't sit here and try to act like there's its fault. To everything beautiful, there's an ugly side. It's possible. It may happen sometimes. Yet, that's just how it falls through. So, once we get into the analytical phase, we must create marketing pages, and you have to get more active on your individual social. So, when I say this, and I mean this is the biggest thing right now, because we're in the age of technology. where things are just digital. We're online all the time. So everything has to go through it. When I tell you, if you make consistent pages and you post little clips, little videos, inspirational quotes every single day, it's gonna draw an attraction to your page. Why? Because people want to feel a part of the process. That's all it is. People want to feel a part of the process, and if they want to feel a part of it, then you will give it. And you give it in a sense that's possible for you. So it has to be comfortable for you. Don't make content that's cringy. Don't make pages that's just pure spam. Nobody wants that. Be considerate. Be considerate and be yourself when you're trying to market and you're trying to attract people to your pages. Think as if you're the one that's trying to be attracted to this. How much would you post? How many times would you post per day? What type of things would you be posting? Who are these posts supposed to go to? Like, the analytics and the in-depthness. If you can go as deep and detailed as possible, I promise you, the reward for it will be 2 times fold every time. It's only when we try to skip corners is when it gets really irritating. I promise you. If you skip corners trying to get to any point, take it from a person that does cut and sew himself. You skip corners, you're going to have to remake that garment every time. Every time. It's the most annoying thing possible. So don't do it, please. I'm joking about this, but yet this is one of the most important things that you have to do. You have to get more socially active online. And once you actually get to a point where you have your own, start following, now you can start throwing out little advertisements for yourself, and it'll attract people more naturally. Now we get to the good part. Now we start to create our first collection. So this is the part where everything starts coming together. You already have everything in place on the other side. You have your manufacturer ready to go. Now you just have to create your collection. Now that falls into a lot of things. I can't lie to you. I'll make a separate video on exactly how to start and make a complete collection. But it's a little detailed. You would have to do tech packs. You would have to definitely, if you're doing a cut and sew type of thing, whether it doesn't even matter if it's cut and sew. If you're doing graphic design, if you're doing print, if you're doing, regardless of whatever you're doing, you're going to have to create a tech pack. And it's just simply a detailed book of the creation that you would send to your manufacturer. That is how your manufacturer makes the piece or clothing that you see in your mind. You would have to take measurements. You have to be specific with the type of fabrics that you're using and the parts that you're using them. How many parts that you have, the different type of sizes, the size measurements. It's a little detailed, I know, but I promise you, when you get that first piece and it's actually something that you can advertise and put to the website, it speaks for itself. I promise you, every time you put your all into an actual creation, it speaks for itself. You want that reward, I promise. I say this, and I've been focusing on other things the entire time, yet the entire time also, if you're actually trying to be serious about this, you should be making sketches the entire time. If you truly want to start a brand, you have to be serious about it. So the things that you do naturally, that should just be a hobby, just making sketches, creating. That should just be something you do just naturally. So I already have multiple designs already ready if you would like. But you have to decide which ones are for now. That's how you start moving like a business. Once you start moving like a business, your business moves better. Smooth. Finally, after you've gained the hype and you've gained the following on your platforms, after you've created that first collection you've gotten into, you got straight to your down mud, and you start sketching and you actually try to make something come to life. This is when you now create a website. You get your domain. If you've taken it far enough to the point where you see that there's actually people completely interested in your brand already from the hype that you've built, now you create an LLC also. Yet the first thing that you would want is your website and your domain name. The domain name, you don't really need it to be honest with you, you don't really need it, yet it's simply more visually appealing. So it looks better when your website is exactly your brand. It makes it look professional and you want it on that side. Now there's a lot of different social website building sites that you actually could use that gives you actually a 30 free day trial. The one that I used was Squarespace, but there's also Shopify if I'm not mistaken. Once you get into those, it lets you create your own website from scratch, and it looks so professional that you can't tell it differently from a Gucci website or Armani Exchange website, whatever you would decide. It's gonna look as professionally as them. You would simply just have to market. That's it. So those are just two things that you could do. There's actually there's just way more out there that you could just search up and you'll be able to find that. Once you create that website, go right back to marketing. Market. Get into that social media space. Start putting things out on different type of social media sites, and I mean all of them. Yes, you have to delete even the ones that you think are never going to do anything for you. Download Facebook, download Reddit, download Tumblr, download TikTok, download, Instagram, everything, and start posting. Whether it's 2 posts per day on every site, whether it's 1 post, whatever you decide, just feed them something that is actually good. If you give out good content, eventually there's going to be attraction sites all over. And if you have multiple pages, that just brings more eyes to you. You don't have to have multiple pages though. If you want to keep it small for a point in time, you can simply make an Instagram page that's connected to your individual's Instagram page, and you can market like that. It doesn't have to be so topsy-turvy. Don't make it too excessive or anything. But now, once you start marketing, you sit back, you relax, and let it take off to the moon. But I'll give you a week for that. Once you see what your profit, you sit back and you analyze your data for a week. That's what I would do. You analyze for a week and then you fall into the next collection. Why? Because people are now expecting the new thing. You have to already know from your business structure when you're going to put out this next collection, what the next collection is going to be about. Because once you hop into this, there's no stopping. You have to keep going, and I promise you, if you do keep going through the trials and tribulations, there will be the success that you're looking for at the end. All you have to do is just keep holding on. See, they got to a point where people are telling you that this doesn't cost any money, that this doesn't that, this is something that you can do from nothing. If you want to actually create something that's going to be able to help you truly, and I'm not talking about in the moment because we know what happens in the moment. I'm talking about consistently helps you even through the moment. You need to put the work in, and that's what they're not telling you. But I'm going to tell you the truth every time. You come to June tells the truth. So I promise you, after that week and you actually take off and you start realizing these customers and you start seeing regular faces, now you start making email subscriptions and start sending out emails for deals, offers, things of that nature, just to stay connected to the community. Because once you build that fan base, you must stay connected to them, otherwise they're gonna feel neglected and then get away from you. What I'm telling you right now are the keys to actually making a fashion brand successful. Right now, I'm currently in my own motions to get real started in my own thing. I've gotten to a point where I am now able to sit down and focus. I did get away from it, but I can't leave it for long. This is something that's always going. And don't get me wrong, a failure or a stoppage does not mean that your brand it failed. It just means it's on hiatus because you need to grow more. And that's what I simply consistently done. Don't take it too hard. I promise you, if you take it too hard, that's when it becomes something mind-wrenching and woo-woo. Once you learn how to breathe, relax, and simply understand the things that I'm putting out, they have to be good. No, they don't have to be good. They are good because it's me doing my all for this one creation. That's all I really wanted to say. That is how you will start and build a brand, a fashion brand in 2023. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune in with us on the next one. It's been your boy, Ju. Out.
Don't you get it wrong, nigga, I'm Haitian. If I commit a foul, it's time to let you know it's blatant. The way I shoot my style, I could already tell they hating. Your girlfriend threw that ass like a middle name, Robbie Page.